Hey everybody, D here, Daily Gaming, back with more Monster Hunter World, and we're almost ready to start getting into hunting. We got a few more things we need to take care of, people to talk to, and some settings to go over. Excuse me. Let's talk to the provisions guy. Nice weapon, buddy. I guess that means it's time to get hooked up with some supplies. You carry pretty much everything you need, so if you're ever short on anything, I'm your guy. But as much as I'd love to take all your zenny, it's still a good idea to gather as much as you can while out in the field. And that's not, yeah, he's not lying. It's much better to gather supplies out in the field, but sometimes you're just grinding out some stuff real quick, and you're not even worried about it, or you're in an area where you can't get the stuff you need. So it's a good fallback, but you don't want to rely on it. Whenever you're buying resources, for the most part, I think it's better to send them to a box. To the pouch is what you have in your pocket, but you have to manage that constantly. So if you keep sending things to your pouch is going to fill up, and then you won't be able to carry anything. You're going on a mission with a full pouch, and then you're going to have to stop and go back to the camp to dump things off and manage all of it. So it's better just to send things to the box. And we'll cover, and I'll get into the pouch stuff more in a second. And you see, you can go through here. He's got some basic potions, antidotes. He's got some jerky, which boosts your natural healing and cures bleeding. You don't really need that too much early on. Later on you will. There's a monster that inflicts bleed, and it's a bitch. You need that jerky. Then you can get barrels, bombs. These are they're helpful. I mean, they can be, but they're also tricky to use, because once you put it down, it has to be hit to be blown up. So it has to be directly in the monster's path. The way I see they're mostly used is people will use them on a sleeping monster, because when a monster's sleeping, the first hit you hit the first hit on the sleeping monster is always like double damage. So if you get a barrel bomb and you do your most powerful attack, you can deal a massive amount of damage in one shot. It's really cool. Large barrels, that's a crafting item. Trap tool, this is the thing you're probably going to be buying the most, because I don't think there's any other way to get them. I think you have to buy them. But we're not going to worry about that just yet. The boomerang, I've never even used it. Binoculars is the same, I've never used. And then you can also buy some ammo. If you're not using any ranged weapons, like the bows or guns, you don't need to worry about ammo or coatings. Yeah, ammo is for the guns, coating is for your bows. And then empty files, those are also for ammo and stuff. You don't need those at all if you're just using a melee weapon. So, not going to worry about buying anything just yet, don't need it. These guys aren't set up yet, so I'll have to come back to them later. Can I talk to you? I don't think I... How the lot of you managed to tangle with an Elder Dragon as dangerous as Zora Magdaros would survive is beyond me. You won't catch me trying any stunts like that. Yes, we can't do anything else quite yet, so we'll just move on. Can I talk to the blacksmith and them yet? Get some of the tutorial stuff out of the way. This right here is the lift that takes you to every place you want to go. Instead of having to, because we've walked up those stairs to get up there to the blacksmith and the canteen and stuff, you can come over to this lift, and you can see right there, they got the workshop, the waterfall bridge, the canteen, and the gathering hub. The gathering hub we haven't messed with yet. It's not even, you can't access it this early. The waterfall bridge, that takes you to your house, but you can't really do much there until later on. Most of the time, you're going to take it up to the workshop or to the canteen. So let's go right to the workshop. I don't think they have anything for me. Ah, she does. Come on. There we go. Hit the button like 3 times. There you go, newcomer. You look a lot more hunterly with a weapon on your back. This is the armory. We deal in ready-made weapons and armor. If you need a weapon ASAP, don't have time to gather materials, wear your ticket. So yeah, like I said, here you can buy the base version of weapons. And it's only what you have unlocked already. So let's go look at the charge blade. So I can get the bone weapon, which is slightly better, and then the proto commission axe. So right now you can only buy those two, because like I said, the base version of everything. And it's the same thing with armor. Well, it's kind of the same thing with armor. Armor's a little different because most of that has to be crafted with equipment and stuff. But you can buy some basic armor from her if you want. You can also sell spares or weapons and stuff you craft and you decide you don't like. You don't like if you're late game, you decide you want to change your weapons and you go just craft a different weapon to try out. You don't like it, then you can go through and you can sell it if you want. The blacksmith we'll get to later. Alright, the canteen.
Hey!
Yes, chill, lady, I know. Let's talk to the Meowscular chef. Alright, welcome to the canteen. The best place for you to boost your hunt. You're from the 5th, right? Let me clue you into whatever the canteen is all about. Gains. Health, stamina, whatever, max gains. Go on, sit down over there at the counter, Scrawny. You're ready to get your pre-hunt on, let me know. Alright, so before each hunt, you want to come over here and you want to eat. Because eating gives you health boost, a stamina boost, attack boost, defense boost, elemental boost. Not all at once, you won't get all of them, but you'll get like a health boost, and you can get a health and stamina boost plus one of the other ones. Or you can get just a health with something else, or whatever, stamina with something else. There's different, as you go through the game, you'll get missions or quests to gather items, and it'll expand the menu, and they'll get better benefits and stuff like that, or the recipes they already have will get, just in general, get more powerful. Handler, shut up, I know. Chill. So it's all pretty good stuff. And like I said, here's another one of those boxes. An item box. You don't need to go to your room if you want to change equipment and stuff like that. You're much better off just looking for one of those. Alright, handler,
Right
chill.
on time.
Excuse me, my throat's getting a little dry. Okay, partner, time to get down to business. The guild teamed us up for a reason. From now on, you're my hunter and I'm your handler. I'm the bread of your butter. Got it?
Oh, yeah.
The 5th Fleet's first mission is to survey the Jagras habitat. Then we gotta cull a certain number of them in order to secure the area. You can depart as soon as you sign up for the Jagras of the Ancient Forest quest. You ready?
What are we waiting for?
The wild and wondrous new world is waiting for us out there. Alright, so here's where things get a little weird. I'm playing offline. At least I should be playing offline. But at this point in the game, you can't even do it. Join a quest is multiplayer. If you want to help out other players and stuff like that, or if you can't do a mission that other people can do, because certain missions are limited. So if you're looking to get special rewards, you can join up with other players to join in their hunt to get those special rewards that you can no longer access. Then there's post a new quest where you can do this. You can go out solo, or you can have somebody join up with you. Yeah, this just goes over the different ones. There's investigations. We'll cover that. I'll go talk about that more later. But you see right now, yeah, there's assigned, optional, investigations, event, and special assignments. Assigned is usually the story ones. Optional is just like random. Like as you go through, people will have, like I said, the chef, he'll have missions for you. That's usually under optional. Investigations, that'll open up later on. Those are like special little quests where you can get special rewards. They start off pretty simple. Hunt this monster, hunt X number of monsters, gather so many items or whatever. And then as you get higher and higher in your hunter rank, they get more expansive. Hunt 2 of these monsters, capture 2 of these monsters, things like that. They usually have special rewards, but they're also limited. Some of them you can only do like 3 times, some of them you can do like 6 times, or some variation in between. Those are the ones where I was just talking about, where you no longer have access to it, but you still want to do them. You can, if your friend has those investigations, you can join up with them. But for now, assigned is all we can do. Jagras of the Ancient Forest. Yeah, so right underneath the quest, it shows the quest conditions. So we need to slay 7 Jagras. We'll get 720 Zenny. Time limit 50 minutes. All missions have a time limit of 50 minutes. It'll never be higher than that. You always but you can have missions where you have 30 minutes. And I think there's even a few, like the high level ones, where you have like time limit of 15 minutes. They can get pretty. I think 15 is the minimum. But it'll never be more than 50. course, on the right shows the map of where you of the area. So you can use the right stick to scroll through the different levels. And if you have that area explored, it'll even show you where to go to hunt for them and stuff. Plus, it also has other information on the map. Like as you go through and explore, you'll find traps, resources, and it'll show all that here on the map. And then underneath the map, it has conditions and your failure conditions. The failure conditions, usually it's if time expires or if you faint 3 times. Some of them, it gets more specific, like if certain resources, I think there's a couple where if a certain resource is destroyed, you fail, or you only have 1 chance. If you faint once, then it's game over. Fainting isn't good. Usually you have 3 chances to capture or kill a monster. If you faint, you respawn back at camp. The problem is that you lose any boosts you got from like meals you eat and stuff. You lose those, so you have to stop, take a second, eat again out there on the field, try and get some of those boosts back, and then you have to go out and hunt and continue hunting the monster. The other issue is that each time you faint, the rewards decline. So if you faint 2 times, you pretty much get the bare minimum in rewards. Yeah, it sucks. But go ahead and select it, accept this quest. If you sign in daily and you get vouchers and stuff like that, you can use these vouchers here. These vouchers increase your rewards. I typically save those for investigations to try and maximize my reward. And also when you're doing an investigation, you're more familiar with the monster and you have a higher success rate. The first time you do an assigned mission, I never use those vouchers because I don't know what the mission is. There's a chance I could faint, and then that fainting could wipe out the voucher. So I always save them, and it's limited. You can only have 5 vouchers at a time, I think. Obviously, I don't have any right now. So accept this quest. The quest has a countdown. If you're instantly ready to go, you can press. I'm on the PS4, so you can hit the touchpad to go into standby mode and just wait for the quest to load. And as soon as it loads, you're gone. Typically, I use this time to go ahead and eat at the canteen. There's pay with money, pay with points, pay with voucher, and oven roast. These are just different ways of buying the same exact thing. You can use a voucher, which will give you, it has increased chance of a special or bonuses to activate. Pay with points, which I have 0 points because we haven't done anything, and then pay with money, which I have to use. Oven roast is, which I can't use. You can drop resources off, and you can see right there it has the results. If I drop off raw meat, I have a chance of getting up to 4 rations. Sometimes you can get other stuff. You can get like antidotes and stuff like that. What you have a chance of getting varies depending on what it is, what the resource you drop off is. It also takes points to do, and it takes 1 quest for it to cook. So you can't oven roast something and then get it before you leave for the mission. You have to wait till you come back from the mission to pick it up. A lot of the things in the game are like that. You set it up before you leave, and when you come back, you check in on it to see what it's doing. So let's go ahead and hit pay with money. You can do custom meals if you want. I really don't mess with any of that too much. I don't see much of a point of it. Because usually what they have is a pretty good selection, and you're guaranteed to get good bonuses. But if you look and you see, there's like there's the meat platter, the fish, veggie, and they don't have static, or they don't have set bonuses. Each time you come to the canteen in between missions, the bonuses will change. Sometimes the meat platter will have health and stamina plus a palico bonus. This time it just has stamina, but you can also see I get a small attack boost up. And then if you look down even further below that, it has food skills, and it's a chance of your palico getting bonus skills when they go out in the missions. There's the fish platter, which is the same thing, stamina plus 25, but now it's defense up, and this one has different skills. And then there's usually one like this, the veggie platter. I always look for this kind, because you see I get a health, a stamina, and a palico boost. I always look for those ones, unless there's something very specific I want. Like I'm going up against an elemental creature, and I want the elemental resistance bonus to help with that. But typically, I just look for the one that has the biggest numbers, and that's the one I pick. You see the veggie platter and that challenger's platter, they have the same 10, 25, 4, 10, 25, 4. They both give you the same thing. So, like I said, the eating is important, but to me, it almost seems like it's more expansive than it needs to be. So it makes me wonder if there's something I'm missing, because there's still a lot about this game I haven't really figured out. But I think I know enough to get through. Let's go ahead and pick the veggie platter, order this meal. You get to see this cool little cutscene. Nom 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 nom. There we go. Food. And the Palico got the skill Feline Gripper. I'm not sure what that does. I'm not too worried about it. I don't worry about the Palico too much. Like they're useful. They are useful, but I don't really worry about them too much. I just kind of keep their equipment up. But I haven't gotten to a point where I really need to rely on them. Once you get to the late game, you do need them a lot more because they are helpful. But early on, they're not that helpful. So I haven't gotten to the late game yet. But now that we've eaten and everything like that, we're ready to depart. There's still plenty of other stuff we can do before we leave, but we're not going to worry about that yet because we're so early into the game. And some of that stuff doesn't really matter until later on. So let's go ahead and depart. So, and then that's the other thing about this game, right? It says useful functions, customize your experience. There's a lot of things you can customize in this game. There's a lot of things you can change. And that's kind of what I was talking about a moment ago before I said we'll get to it later. Because you can customize your radial menus, you can customize all sorts of stuff.
Let's do a quick review of quest rules. Rule number 1, complete the objective to complete the quest. Easy, right? Each quest has an objective. You can't consider the quest done until you complete. Our current objective is to eliminate a specified number of Jagras. Let's check the map.
Yeah, I'm kind of skipping through this because it's all pretty much what I said.
We ran into some Jagras on the way to base. The small monsters, remember? I think we saw them somewhere around here. Want to check it out? Rule number 2, use the supply box. The Commission supplies us with a loadout of certain items. They're in the supply box over there. Have a look and decide what you should take along.
Alright, so this is the supply box. This is what she was talking about, and you definitely need to check it before you leave on every mission. You get free supplies, so it'll help you from using up your resources. Plus, they also give you special things. So, like when I mentioned, I think in a previous episode, about like capturing monsters, and they don't really tell you how to craft the trap tools and everything, or how to even get them. You just got to kind of figure it out. But they do give you a trap.
Oh, yeah.
In here. So you see, you can look, I have a first aid med
partner.
And an easy ration. You also have files. You take the files if you're using a weapon that needs them. I also mentioned if you faint, you come back to base and you lose all your bonuses. Well, if you come over here, this is a canteen. So you can eat again and get those bonuses again if you faint. And then if you hold L1, you see this radial menu. You see there's 4 of them. There's shortcut 1, shortcut 2, ammo coatings, and communication. You can customize this. You can change them all to be whatever you want. You can get rid of communication. You can get rid of communication. You can get rid of the ammo coatings. Shortcut 2 right now has nothing. You can add in stuff. And shortcut 1, it has a few things. Some of the stuff I can't use. Some of the stuff I don't want to use. I'll change it all later. There's an SOS flare. That's for multiplayer. You can also change how things are accessed. Like right now, here, let's go ahead and eat this easy ration. If you look at my stamina, I have that it's longer than it should be, and it's flashing. If I eat this ration, that'll increase my stamina anymore. Now to eat it, I have to hold L1, use the right stick to point at it, and if I release the right stick, I eat it. I think you can change it so that you have to actually click the right stick before you'll accept it.
Want to get going?
It takes a little bit of getting used to. If you've selected something by accident and you don't want to use it, do not release the left stick or the right stick. Just release L1 and you won't use it.
Be careful.
You can see that right there on the right side says potion.
Ready
That's
your
actually
weapon
something.
before attacking. Keep in mind that what you're able to do depends on whether or not your weapon is drawn.
That's something I need to cover real
Investigating or
quick too.
gathering items, you'll generally want to keep your weapon sheathed.
Are you done
I'll
talking?
mark gathering sites
Oh
and
my
monster
God.
positions on the wildlife map for you.
Okay. If you press from the PlayStation, the options button, it brings up this menu. You can see the first thing it comes to is the crafting list. As starting off, you're going to be okay, but as you go through, you're going to want to adjust this and stuff. This lets you craft things automatically. If it has a blue check next to it, it will automatically craft it. And it's pretty important, especially if you use like ammo coatings and stuff like that, because if you don't, if you run out of a certain type of ammo, you're going to have to go through and start crafting things manually. But if you have it all set to automatic, it'll automatically craft those things while you're running around gathering. It's a very useful thing you want to have selected, and it only crafts what's in your pouch. If the stuff goes straight to your box, it won't craft it. And if you pull it from your box and put it in your inventory, it still won't craft it. You have to. It only crafts it. I think it only crafts it as you pick things up. But it's right now. It's not nothing too important because it starts off. It starts like this. So and that's all you need for the moment. Well, let's see. So now we got to kind of follow this dude. We're being railroaded a bit here. But as you're going, you want to keep an eye out. Your scout flies. They'll shoot off and they'll locate things for you. You want to remember where things are at, so that way as you're running through, if you're low on, if you know you're getting low on health potions, you can run through, take a little detour, grab.
You can gather honey and mix it with a potion to make mega potions.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You can grab things like those herbs, which will give you potions, and it's really important to know where the honey is, because you always want to be grabbing honey. You always need honey, because that'll let you craft mega potions, which is, heals you more than a regular potion. You also want to remember where bug locations are at and stuff, because bugs are some of the most important resources, because they let you craft the best stuff.
Jagras. Those are the monsters we're after.
Let's see how you hold up when you're on your own.
Come here.
They're on the run. Don't let them get away.
Oh, wrong button.
Grab all the monster materials you
Sheath
can.
that. Alright, so after you kill stuff, you can see you can press circle on it. You can see I'm carving it, and I get the Jagras hide. This is important. This is how you get the monster equipment you need to even craft the equipment you want to craft. Right there, I just picked up some red pit, and you see it's called slinger ammo. You pick up slinger ammo as you go around, and I think you hold L2. Yeah, it lets you aim. And if I press, R2, it lets me shoot. There's also, you can do things like, that's a spore puff up there. If I shoot that, it creates a cloud, and that's a cloud I can actually hide in. You can also walk up to it and just, hit it with your dagger or whatever, and then you can hide. But it lets you can use all sorts of different items you can find, and it lets you distract monsters. You can do minor damage to them and stuff, and all sorts of stuff. As you're going through, you also want to keep an eye out for things like this. A mining outcrop. There's also a bone pile somewhere nearby. You walk up to it. You just kind of smash circle. Don't hold circle. If you hold circle, it's really slow. If you smash circle, you go much faster. Same thing with this bone pile. And you can see from the mining outcrop, I got a bunch of iron ore. And now I'm getting monster bone. These are things you need to build and craft weapons and armor. So you want to keep an eye out for those. You want to always be going for them. This little thing right here is pretty cool. It's a blind bug. You can see I just blinded all these guys. Now they're dazed. and I'm done with the mission. Now here's the cool thing. After the mission is done, enemies will pretty much de-aggro. They won't de-aggro. They'll sit there and want to attack you, but for the most part they won't. You see, he's just like hissing at me and it's just circling around. They do this on purpose. It's to give you a chance to actually gather the resources, because there's nothing more frustrating than killing a monster and not being able to gather anything from the monster because you're being attacked. Like, that would infuriate me, because some of these hunts take a while. This one was a really short, easy one. It was, you know, whatever. I'm just doing that for fun. Wrong button. And you can see you also have a timer up there. Most missions, if you complete the quest by killing the creatures, you have 60 seconds. If you capture the creature, they only give you like 20 seconds. You get 60 seconds, that's to give you time to carve. If you capture, you can't carve the creature, so they only give you like 20 seconds because, you know, you're just standing around for a minute not doing anything. Try and take that time to look around, see if there's any resources you can gather, bone piles, make sure there's no materials the monster dropped, because that's the other thing. As you're fighting them, and as body parts break, they'll drop resources. So you need to keep an eye out for those. And it's a bitch, because when you see one, you pretty much need to focus on getting that in immediately, because they disappear. They don't sit on the ground very long, they disappear, so you have to get them quick. If you wait until after the monster, until after a certain point, then they're just gone. And that might be a resource you need. There's more than likely a resource you need. But as you can see, once the mission's done, you get your quest rewards. A bunch of icons, and that tells you what everything is at the bottom. Pretty basic stuff. And then if you want, you can sell all. At this point, I wouldn't recommend, but it's a good way to make money later on. You can go out on quests and investigations. Let's say you're doing investigations, you're hosting investigations for your friend because your friend wants the resources. Well, you can't actually do anything with those. You don't want those resources. You don't need them. There's nothing you can do with them. You can just go ahead and sell them, and you can make a good bit of money if you want. But for now, take all, and it'll double check to make sure you want to take all. And then your Palico can also gather resources for you. It's another reason you want to stop and check those bone piles and stuff whenever you can, because your Palico usually has a good chance of gathering something, so you get extra rewards at the end. And sometimes you get lucky and they get some high-ranking stuff, which is really nice. Take all, and then here's the summary screen. Palico leveled up. New cutscene, blah blah blah. And there we go. We just finished our first hunt. Oh, am I connected to the internet? I thought I disconnected. But that was an easy one. The first few hunts, they're really easy. Especially if you're comfortable with the weapon you're using and stuff, you go through and you just demolish. The Jagras are like the easiest thing to kill. And actually, once the mission's done, you don't have to always go straight back to the headquarters. I think at this point we do, because it was like a story mission.
Good to see you.
Yeah, because it was a story mission. It went straight to the cutscene. Quests and investigations, you can actually choose to stay out in the field. That way you don't have to keep coming back to the headquarters just to go back out to the field. If you're like grinding out investigations or whatever, it really helps speed things up. Fine work taking down those Jagras. So there's no difference in their habitat, but their numbers are increasing. I see. It may be stating the obvious, but the Jagras aren't the only danger lurking around these parts. We've also received reports of a Kestodon herd getting out of hand. This must be all because Zora Magdaros made landfall. It's got everything riled up.
Listen up.
Well, it's going to be your job to quiet them down. We'd let you investigate this Kestodon herd and call their numbers. I'm going along. Wouldn't want you to get hurt. So now I can start using multiplayer missions.
Now that you've got some materials, why don't we head over to the smithy to see what you can do with them?
At this point, practically nothing. Let's see, is anybody having, yeah, the researchers aren't there yet. This guy is. So you definitely want to check in with him after all your hunts and stuff. A hunter from the 5th, are you? Then you must have finished with your first quest. This is ecological research, headed by yours truly. Tell me, did you find any monster data out there? Tracks, gashes, that sort of thing? Data tells us a story about the monsters, an elaborate and interesting one at that. Your job in the field team is to track the monsters, collect data, and advance the study. Our job is to take the data, analyze it, and compile our findings for the commission. What we learn helps you out in the field too. So you see, we need each other.
I'll be here.
Drop by here anytime, and I'll show you what we're working on. Yeah. All right. So the research level, this lists all the monsters you can hunt. And you can see they have rankings and stuff like that. You can see it has the monster name and research level, and then to the right of that is the scout fly level. The scout fly level only increases if you come and talk to them. While you're out in the field, it'll say, like, you know, leveled up and stuff as you're gathering footprints and other tracking marks. But it won't actually level up unless you come talk to this guy. So whenever you're out there tracking, if you see something leveled up, and stop by, talk to him, because that will officially make everything level up. And like I said, the scout flies are what lead you to monsters. Once it gets high enough, you'll be able to see them on your map. You'll be able to go to. They'll give you, their scout flies will give you a path right to them, or it'll start showing you where the monster is going, and you can go to that destination and set up a trap for them and stuff like that. So. It's pretty important. Then, of course, you got the monster field guide, small and large. Large monster is anything that appears under the research level. Small is everything else. Like the Jagras we just hunted, they're small and everything. Oops, I didn't mean to back out that far. Come on. But the monster field guide is really important. You don't have to talk to these guys to access it. You can access it from your menu from any time. But you see right now it doesn't say anything. The Great Jagras, which we haven't even come across yet, but it's in here for some reason. Oh wait, yeah, we did. Yeah, the opening cutscenes. My bad. The Anjanath and the Zora Magdaros. As you go, as the research level increases, it'll have more information. It'll show their known habitats. It keeps track of how many you've hunted and captured, their sizes. It'll also tell you their weaknesses, what resources you can get from what body parts and stuff, whether something's breakable, what deals the most damage to that part and everything. It gives you a lot of useful information. But you have to increase your research level by talking to this guy for that to actually kick in. Alright, they got a little thing over here to talk about, so let's talk to him.
Listen up.
There's something important you need to talk to you about. This commission is special, different from your past undertakings, if I had to take a guess. It's not about hunting down the Elder Dragon or punishing them for the damage they cause. The commission seeks an understanding of their place in nature and ours. That's the point. And we understand it by killing them. The Elder Dragons are nature, and it's as futile to try and punish nature as it is to run from it. And why do we hunt them?
Hunting.
But knowing nature, now that's something we can do. We're going to face some real challenges. The best course might not always be clear.
What this world needs.
Before you take life or move to defend it, understand it. That's what makes you a hunter. So whenever you see those little icons, always go and talk to them, because they'll give you important quests. Sometimes they'll have rewards for you. They'll give you new items you can use and stuff like that. So whenever you see that icon, talk to them. And now after this, we have access to the gathering hub up there, which I have no interest in. Come on. Okay, now we can get the login bonus, which lets us get vouchers. And we got 2 vouchers, and I got some free potions too. Nice. Artemis Monster Hunter Movie Quest Item Pack. Oh, they gave me some free stuff. Okay. Special daily bonus. Alright. Yeah, I don't care about the snowball fights. This is all... The Gathering Hub is mainly multiplayer stuff. Special events, and things like that. Alright, so let's do something real quick. I just realized I'm in an open lobby. There's probably other people here and they can hear me talking. Here, hold on. I'm going to take a little break real quick and try and fix that.